What's up, guys? Beastly Gamer here. Welcome to the channel. Resident Evil. Do you guys like the game? Do you guys hate the movies? If you do, if you said yes to both, I love you. Resident Evil is a very, very memorable franchise for me. It's a meaningful franchise for me. I've been with Resident Evil and played the game since the very first one. And I've seen it go from being awesome to being okay to being horrible. And that's where Resident Evil is now when it comes to the standalone franchise. Not like the Revelations series, because actually Revelations was amazing on my 3DS. We're now waiting on Resident Evil 7. Resident Evil 6 was horrible to me. They tried to go too far in the direction of an action game, and when you do that, you remove yourself further and further from the survival horror aspect that made Resident Evil the amazing game that it is. So, Resident Evil 6. Resident Evil 6 was a three-part game. You played as Chris Redfield, Leon Kennedy, and I forget Wesker's son's name because I did not even want to play that section of the game. And it just fell apart in my eyes, especially during Chris's section, where it became more of an action game. You felt like a superhero running around punching people and doing crazy stuff, and it just didn't feel scary at all. And so Resident Evil Revelations for me was a great return to form for the Resident Evil series. Items were scarce, the area was claustrophobic, the ship was very beautiful, and it felt like the original Resident Evil games, and that for me was a real return to form. Resident Evil 7 is the next in the series, and that's the one that everybody's waiting on. I'm cautiously optimistic. I hope that they can pull back and make the game back into a survival horror game versus this action adventure type of stuff. But I'll drop a link in the description for you guys. Resident Evil 7, Nemesis can get the job done. Capcom has confirmed that it is currently developing Resident Evil 7, and the game developer claims that the next sequel will be more horrifying than any Resident Evil title ever. As a fan of the franchise, we took Capcom's word with a grain of salt, because we are still disappointed by the lack of thrills and terror offered by the last Resident Evil trilogy. Even so, we believe that Capcom can make a strong comeback with Resident Evil 7. They can do so by bringing back some of the old foes from the past. If it was up to us, we would try to stir something up just to give the players one more boss fight with Nathan Birkin from Resident Evil 2. He was actually an awesome boss. If that's too complicated for Capcom, the best returning boss we would love to see is Nemesis 2.0. This particular villain is just stronger, scarier, and more relentless. Such a character will definitely ensure Resident Evil 7's horror status, wouldn't you agree? Absolutely not. Whoever, this is ncvoice.com, that was a foolish article. It doesn't matter about the bosses. Resident Evil bosses are always pretty scary. The snake in part 1 was scary. You know, even the dog jumping through the window was scary. The horror aspect of the game doesn't have anything to do with the bosses. There are scary bosses in The Legend of Zelda. Is it a horror game? No. The atmosphere needs to be right. The atmosphere needs to be scary. You need to feel alone. You need to feel like you don't have enough ammunition. It needs to feel like Dead Space to be scary again. If they want the game to be horrifying and gruesome, it doesn't matter about if the game still feels like an adventure game and you're running around and punching boulders and, you know, you're doing pull-ups across the map, you know, on a vine. The game won't be horrifying. If the game is, the atmosphere has to be very, very foreboding. You know, the atmosphere of Resident Evil 4 is a great example. You felt totally alone. Whenever someone came to try to help you, they got killed. You know, and everyone was insane, and you knew that these people were after you no matter what. That was a very creepy environment. Resident Evil 4's bosses didn't have to be, they weren't Nemesis or Dr. William Birkin. They were just regular bosses, but the game was scary as hell. And that's what they need to do. They need to focus on the atmosphere more so than the damn bosses. So obviously whoever wrote this article is a nincompoop, because if you think it's the bosses that make Resident Evil scary, you're a fool. It is the atmosphere, or the lack of human companionship. If you feel like you got 5 buddies with you, it's not going to be scary. Just like in a horror movie, if you got 20 people and you got the lights on and you're watching it in the daytime, it's not going to be scary. But if you remove those people and you remove the daylight, the movie's going to be a lot scarier. So it's all in the atmosphere. What they need to do is pull back some of this action-adventure BS that's been going on with the Resident Evil series for the last 3 games, and they need to move back in the direction of scarce supplies. Maybe you don't even have a gun for the first 2 hours of the game. You know, you don't have enough healing items. You gotta sometimes run. That's what will make a Resident Evil game scary again. Sure, I think Nemesis is a great enemy. You know, he was creepy and scary. You know, you hear him coming, star. So you look and you see him. Oh shit! Yeah, it was creepy and it was scary. but it was the atmosphere. You were alone. And when you finally run into someone, you feel like, oh my god, I gotta tell you my whole life story because I haven't seen a human in so long. For me, that's what makes a Resident Evil game. Scarce supplies, creepy atmosphere, foreboding atmosphere, claustrophobic area. That's all you need for Resident Evil. You guys let me know in the comment section, what could Capcom do to make Resident Evil 7 a real Resident Evil game? Let me know if you like Resident Evil 6. And if you did, I don't have any problem with that. Some people like those kind of games. If you like the Resident Evil movies, I don't have any problem with that. But to me, they have nothing to do with the games, so I don't like them. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, give a thumbs up and show support for the channel. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Christmas, hanging out with your family. Hope you guys are getting everything you want this year. I'm the Beastly Gamer, and I'll see you guys next time.